Hello students. So in the last video we have seen a second method to simulate a non-homogeneous Poisson process, and the method was dependent on the event times. Once we know the event times, the PDF of the event times, then we can simulate a Poisson process, non-homogeneous Poisson process. Today again we will see one more method for simulating the event times. In this case, we will try to simulate the inter-arrival distribution given the event times. So our goal in today's class again is to simulate the event times of a non-homogeneous Poisson process where the intensity function is given to be lambda t. So in order to understand how to simulate these event times of a non-homogeneous Poisson process, let us recall our definitions. So I have listed them in terms of observations. So as we already know, we have already denoted exercise to denote the inter-arrival times of a Poisson process. In this particular case, it's a non-homogeneous Poisson process. Because this is a non-homogeneous Poisson process, these exercise will no longer be independent. In case of homogeneous Poisson process, exercise are independent and they follow exponential with mean lambda if the Poisson process has a rate parameter which is lambda. Now, based on these exercise, we have defined the event times of the Poisson process, which are defined in this manner. Sn is summation over I equal to 1 to n xi with S naught is equal to 0. This is S naught is the first 0th event. So since the process starts with 0, S naught must be equal to 0. Now, the important point to note here is if you go with x1, that is the inter-arrival time distribution, x1 will always have S0 to be 0. But if you go for x2, now the distribution of x2 will depend on when x1 has happened, the first arrival has happened, because xi's are not independent. So I want to consider a conditional distribution of these event times. So intelligent way to consider the conditional distribution of these event times is to club event times and inter-arrival times together. In the previous method, what we have shown is if I know that at time point nt, that at time point t, the nt, the underlying Poisson process has n occurrences, then I can actually classify the event times as uniform random variables. And in that case, because it was a non-homogeneous Poisson process, it cannot be uniform, but it will have a very specific pattern, which is capital lambda of s upon small lambda or capital lambda of t. So in this particular case, what we will do is we will try to use the connection between inter-arrival process and the event times or the arrival times. Okay, so that connection is written here. I have already mentioned that xi's are very much dependent and they depend on where the previous one had started. Okay, so the connection given here is the distribution of xi given si minus 1 is equal to x. What is si minus 1? Si minus 1 is a cumulative sum of all xi's that have happened before xi. Right? So si minus 1 equal to x, si minus 2 equal to something, and up to s1, and s0 obviously is equal to 0. So I don't have to worry about that. Now, if I give you that si minus 1 has happened at time point x, the other information becomes irrelevant for finding the distribution of xi. Because of this fact, you can actually rewrite this conditional distribution as distribution of x. This distribution is equivalent to writing distribution of xi given si minus 1 is equal to x. Now, the distribution of xi must typically depend on the value small x. How? Let us see. So let us call this distribution as fx. Now, if I want to compute probability of capital Xi greater than t, let us say probability of capital Xi greater than T, then in our notation it will be given by 1 minus fx of t. What does it denote? Probability of capital Xi greater than T given Si minus 1 is equal to X. Right? So up to time point X, I minus 1 events have happened or have occurred, and between time point X to X plus T, none of the events have occurred. Is that clear? I will repeat once again. If I want to compute probability of Xi greater than T given Xi minus 1 or Si minus 1 is equal to X, then up to time point X, I minus 1 events have occurred. Between time point X and X plus T, no events have occurred. That reduces to my non-homogeneous Poisson process having a probability that n t plus x minus nx is equal to 0. Now, and nx is equal to I minus 1. Right? Now, as we are dealing with a non-homogeneous Poisson process, our increments are independent. So now that nx is equal to I minus 1 will not have any role to play. Therefore, my probability will become probability that nx plus t minus nx is equal to 0. That is 0 events in the interval x to x plus t. Now I know that nx plus t minus nx follows Poisson distribution with rate lambda of x plus t, capital lambda of x plus t minus capital lambda of x, which can be expressed in the integral form as integral over 0 to t small lambda of x plus y dy. And therefore, this is the rate at which it will happen, and therefore the probability that nx plus t minus nx is equal to 0 is given by this expression. Okay. So now I got the expression for probability that xi is greater than t given si minus 1 is equal to x. So I can as well so this is basically a complementary CDF. So I can compute the CDF, which will be 1 minus this. I can go further and compute a density which will take this integrand as a multiplier and retain this exponent as it is, and therefore my density will become fxt is equal to lambda of x plus t into e raised to integral over 0 to t lambda of x plus y dy. Fxt upon the complementary CDF gives me hazard rate function. So now I can derive the hazard rate function rxt, which will be lambda of x plus t. So now I have all the tools in my bag. I know the cumulative distribution function, I know the density function, and I know the hazard rate function. I also know that this distribution is a continuous distribution and it is always going to be positive. The random variable is always going to take positive value. With this, the question can be asked that can I simulate such a random variable? Random variable having this density, this complementary CDF, or this hazard rate? The answer is yes. Based on our video of general techniques for continuous random variables, we can easily simulate this random variable. And this random variable is nothing but inter-arrival distribution of a non-homogeneous Poisson process. So now we will finally answer the question that how will we simulate a Poisson non-homogeneous Poisson process using this random variable. Idea is very simple. So you start with x1 following f0. Do I know this? Yes, because S0 is always equal to 0. So distribution of x1 given S0 is equal to 0. It needs to be figured out. I know that because my x in this case, in the previous expression, my x is 0. So it will have this R0 of t, that is lambda of t. So I know this distribution with hazard rate lambda t. So there is no confusion in this. So this is the first inter-arrival time. Now I want to simulate the second inter-arrival time, but I need to rely on the estimate of x1. So I will use that estimate. I will simulate x2. This is abuse of notation. This is not exactly correct. What I am doing is I am actually simulating x2 given s1, and I want to use the value that is realized for x1, that is this t. So I have substituted it t. I have substituted that t over here, and therefore this is x2 given x1. This is the distribution, not a marginal distribution of x2, but a conditional distribution of x2 given x1. So I can simulate this random variable, and whatever value it gives, I will just add it because this will be an inter-arrival time. If I want to know the event times or the arrival time distribution, I need to add this value to t so that I will get the next t. So now this t is updated, and then again if I want to simulate one more random variable, that is x3, I will use the same t and I will continue with x3 following ft. The underlying t will be different because it is t plus x2, and there I can continue as long as I want. So this is how I will simulate the arrival distribution of a non-homogeneous Poisson process. Right? So what are the ways in which I can do this? Let us see. You are free to choose any of the general techniques for simulating continuous random variables. You can choose a hazard rate method because it looks very simple. But when you choose a hazard rate method, we will end up in using the first method that we have used for deriving a non-homogeneous Poisson process or simulating a non-homogeneous Poisson process. If fx, the cumulative distribution function of the inter-arrival distribution, is very easy and it can be inverted, then it is better to use the inverse transform technique, as it will give you a more efficient estimate. And if none of these two you want to use, then you can always choose a rejection method and you can simulate the random variable. Now let me demonstrate this using one example. So let us take the example to be lambda x is equal to 1 upon x plus a for x greater than or equal to 0. This is the hazard rate. Okay. So now in this particular case, what will be the distribution fx? I know already that the distribution of fx will be integral 0 e raised to minus integral 0 to t lambda of x plus y dy. This is what we have seen in the previous slide. So let us compute the integral of this hazard rate. So the integral is given here, and it turns out that it is 1 upon x plus a. So it will be ln of x plus a plus t minus ln of x plus a. So I can rewrite that in terms of this fraction ln of this, and minus e raised to minus this term will give me the one complementary CDF of this random variable. Right? So I can compute the CDF of this random variable. Remember, e raised to ln are inverses of each other, so they will nullify each other. Because of that minus sign, the numerator will become denominator and denominator will become a numerator, and I want to compute the CDF. So 1 minus CDF is x plus a upon x plus a plus t. Therefore the CDF will be t upon x plus a plus t. Now I will again use the inverse transform technique. In a sense, I will put this fxt as u. Since this is fxt, I am substituting with u. U will always lie between 0 and 1. Remember? Then you just use your simple algebraic manipulations to get this fx inverse of u to be equal to this. So now I have the inverse transform technique for simulating this distribution with this hazard rate. So I can use it to simulate a Poisson process. How will I simulate? I will simulate the event times of a Poisson process, which will in turn give me a Poisson process. So the simulation is pretty easy now. What I will do is, because this u always belongs to 0, 1, it is a substitute of uniform random variables, because you know fx of capital X will always follow uniform distribution. Right? So I will simulate this random number u in terms of ui. Once I have simulated that random number, I will just substitute it here, and I will get the value of fx inverse u, which I will write as xi. That value will be xi. So once that value is xi, I will add it to the estimate of sj minus 1. So that is explained here. So Si can be generated by simulating random numbers ui. Let us say I have simulated u1. If I simulate u1, this x will be 0. A plus u1 upon 1 minus u1 will give me some value. That value is nothing but the value of capital X1 given S0. And I will use that value, I will add it to the time factor, and then I will use the new value to simulate this again, the second random variable, which will be x2, which I will add to S1. Okay, so that is the procedure that I will continue to follow. So that essentially reduces to this formulation. The term within this sj minus 1 plus a uj upon 1 minus uj, this term is actually a substitute of xj, and sj minus 1 is there, so you will get sj as xj plus sj minus 1. So this is how I can simulate. So now how my algorithm will look like for simulating this particular hazard rate function, event times of this hazard rate function. I will fix t, then I will set t is equal to 0, n is equal to 0, n counts the number of arrivals, t is the time variable. Then I will generate a random number u, and I will set x to be equal to, x is doing a job of sj, x is equal to t plus a into u upon 1 minus u. So this loop will continue as long as you want. Now, if you want to simulate a Poisson process up to time point capital T, because you have fixed T, you will check whether this x is greater than T or not. If x is greater than T, whatever realization you have arrived at previously will be retained for x is equal to T, and you will stop. If x is less than T, you will set T is equal to x, and you will increment the counter of the number of events as n to n plus 1, and you will again go back to step 2, and you will again do the same things till you achieve this step, that is x is greater than t. That's all for simulation of non-homogeneous Poisson process. This is the method 3 for simulation of non-homogeneous Poisson process. This finishes our topic of simulation of stochastic processes.